so today we're going to move into multiplication of fractions. Usually multiplying is harder than adding, but not in fractions. Shelby, pay attention. Alright, so once again, usually it's harder. I remember for addition or subtraction, I asked you guys to get common denominators. Alright, looking at question number 1, I will start looking at 5 and 3, which is the smallest number they both go into, 15, but that's only for adding or subtracting. For multiplication, we don't. For multiplication, it's okay, they're different. The only thing that I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to simplify my fractions. And then for us to simplify the fractions, choose a number from the top and a number from the bottom. It's okay, they're from different fractions. So looking at number 1, the 3 and the 3, let me divide each by 3, so now they each become 1. If I look at the other numbers, the 5 and the 5, let me divide each by 5, so they both become 1. Alright, I want to simplify my numbers. I'm going to make it smaller. Now, I'm just going to multiply straight across. First, let me take care of the sign. Negative times negative, it's a negative fraction. 1 times 1 on the top. At the bottom, 1 times 1. So I'm just going to simplify this to negative 1. If I look at question number 2, let me simplify my 3 and my 9. Let me divide each by 3. So that becomes 1, and that becomes 3. Now, I'm just going to multiply straight across. First, let me take care of the signs. Negative times negative, it's positive. On the top, 13 times 1 is 13. At the bottom, 3 times 8 is 24. Bigger numbers at the bottom, so we're good. Once again, for multiplication, simplify first, and then multiply across. If you don't simplify first, and you just go 13 times 3, and at the bottom 9 times 8, you have 39 over 72, which simplifies to 13 over 24. Like, you can simplify it at the end, but you're just dealing with bigger numbers. So that's why I said first, simplify, and then multiply. Looking at question number 3, I need that as a fraction, so I'm going to put a 1 at the bottom. I notice that 3 and 9, I can divide each by 3, but I can't do these because they're both from the top. Remember I said simplify as long as one's from the top and one from the bottom. So there's nothing I can do, so I'm just going to multiply straight across. 9 times 3 is 27. 1 times 8 is 8. Bigger numbers on top, so I have to divide 27 divided by 8. How many times does 8 go into 27? 3. 3 times 8 is 24. My remainder is 3. So my fraction will be 3 over 8. Looking at question number 4, let me simplify the 5s. Okay, let me divide each by 5. I'm going to divide it by the same thing. Looking at my 4 and my 8, let me divide both of them by 4. So they become 1 and 2. Now when I multiply, I have a negative sign, so let me not forget my negative sign. And then I go 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 2 over 1. I'm just going to simplify that as negative 2. We take a look at a couple more questions. 5 and 6. There's nothing I can do to simplify. So I do see a negative sign, so my answer would have a negative sign. On the top, I'm going to go 5 times 5, which is 25. At the bottom, 3 times 9, which is 27. Bigger numbers at the bottom, so I'm good. Looking at question number 6, let me simplify first. 2 and 10, let me divide each by 2. The 3 and the 9, let me divide each by 3. I'm going to be able to multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 5 is 15. Bigger numbers at the bottom, so I'm good. When they get multiplication, it's easier than addition. Right? Because in addition, you have to get the common denominator. But for multiplication, you don't have to. As a matter of fact, you simplify first, and then you deal with small numbers only. The only thing that we do need in multiplication, we cannot have mixed numbers. What I mean with that is, let me take a look at number 11. 3 and 2/3, I have to change that to an improper fraction. I'm going to change that to 11 over 9. Remember the way I came up with 11, because I multiplied 3 times 3, and then I added it to the 2 on top. That's how I came out with 11. So I have to go negative 11 over 9 times 4 over 9. Simplify if you can. Remember, you have to choose a number from the top, a number from the bottom. We cannot. I see a negative sign, so my answer would have a negative sign. And then I'm just going to multiply straight across. 11 times 4, 9 times 9. And I know 44 over 81 cannot be simplified, because if it could, I wouldn't be able to simplify before I multiply. So on the multiplications, if you cannot simplify there, on the answer you cannot simplify here. So I know 44 over 81, there's nothing I can do. Let me take a look at one where both of them are mixed numbers. So let me skip to number 20. I'm going to have a 9 at the bottom. For the top, remember, I'm going to go 3 times 9, which is 27, plus 7, so I'm going to have 34. On the second fraction, I have a 2 on the bottom, and I go 2 times 2, plus 1, so that's how I get 5. Simplify if you can. My 2 and my 34, let me divide each by 2. I'm going to divide them. So my answer, I know negative times negative is positive. For the top, 17 times 5 is 85. 9 times 1 is 9. But I have a bigger number on top, so I do have to divide. Let me just come over and I'm going to go 85 divided by 9. How many times does 9 go into 85? 9 times. 9 times 9 is 81. My remainder is 4. So my fraction is 4 over 9. Once again, make them improper fractions. If they're mixed, remember what I call mixed is a whole number in a fraction. So they're mixed, change it to improper. And we call it improper because the bigger numbers on top. Change it to improper, simplify whatever you can, and then multiply straight across. I know in the front, you guys have less space for questions than those in the back. Like those in the back, you have like a lot of space compared to those at the front. Is this the program that I make? The program that I used to make the worksheets, it did it like that. I don't know why. So it just did. Well, I think yours came out fine, right? It was my first period I wanted to get it like that. Alright.